I wanted something that could be disseminated out to teachers. You could do a little bit of training, and then teachers can. And the program was scripted to where it's easy to follow. It's something that teachers can pick up, and all the materials are provided for you. So that was a big plus for being able to find something that I can go and implement pretty quick. The teachers were able to kind of, take the script and work through the script with the children. All the materials were there provided for you, both math and reading. So there was nothing that you had to deviate from. You could just take it and run with it.
I think it's the best kept secret in America. Because with the SideStreets program and the SideStreets curriculum, it kind of encompasses a lot of things beyond just what you're really focusing on. For example, our school had an issue with math before I got there, and the previous year we were 28% passing in math across the board, and so obviously that was an issue in the area that we needed to focus on. So we created an advisory period where each kid in our school would have an opportunity to have 50 minutes of extra instruction in math. After we figured out what we needed to do, then we had to go out and find the most appropriate curriculum. There's another school in Waco Independent School District, Cesar Chavez, that had used SideStreets with some success, and they talked about it in principals meetings and so forth. So I went and toured his school and toured the implementation of the program and liked what I saw. So we copycatted, and we did the same thing. So in January, when the semester came back, the kids started an advisory program where we did SideStreets math in all grade levels.
I think it's been we had a great successful year with Princeton SideStreets this year. We were able to implement it in a variety of different ways throughout the district. From the central office perspective, I was able to purchase the program from my office and then able to disseminate it out to my middle schools as a pilot program for the year. As I approached different principals, like Mr. Laredo, he really kind of embraced it and wanted to do a different perspective with it. So he did the whole school advisory program using SideStreets. Some other principals use it as a supplemental program for tutorials, after-school tutorials. So just a variety of different perspectives there. Working with Princeton and their curriculum people, kind of coordinating and devising a program specifically to help support our accelerated programs within the summer program this year. So, but it's been good.
I utilized my math department chair and also a couple of non-math teachers to look at the curriculum to make sure that this was something viable for the entire campus, for all the teachers, so that they could all utilize it. That's one thing we wanted to make sure that they did.
And one of the things that I try to do is have systematic programs and not have everybody doing their own little thing. I wanted something that could be used across the board with all middle schools and not have them implement whatever they chose to do that.
I'd recommend this to any school that has an issue with their core curriculum classes, reading, writing, and math. Any school that's having an issue with that, yes. So if the program is implemented the way that it's supposed to be implemented, it could directly affect some of the other curriculums across the board.
You're asking an art teacher, you're asking a band teacher, you're asking an English teacher to teach math. But the beauty of the curriculum was, the program was that it's set up to do basic skills so that an extensive math background is not necessary.
SideStreets, what I like about SideStreets is if you're not comfortable with math, it still enabled the teachers who didn't have a certain amount of comfort zone with math in order to teach math, because it really was self-guided. It kind of explained everything that a teacher would need to do. Helped me a lot because I'm an administrator, so I didn't have time to do lesson plans or research anything or figure out what to do. My work was already done for me when I walked in. All I did was just open up the book and say, okay, this is what we're doing today. One of the other things that I like about SideStreets is the fact that we were teaching math, but the kids actually had to write because they have a journal component to it. So they actually had to write in their journals. Because of that, our kids, I felt like that was one of the primary reasons why our kids moved from an average of 77% passing the year before on our standard assessment issued by the state to 95% because the kids actually had to write in their journals. With a program that, such as SideStreets, that's a little challenging and somewhat stimulating, that the kids really did respond, we actually made the decision to move some kids out of special ed into our normal classroom settings because of the fact that we knew that they were capable of doing the work that the regular ed kids were doing. I took what I considered the most challenging kids and we moved forward. And this program did wonders for us.
How far off are we now from before? 2 years ago, we were 18 points away from being recognized. Now we are 7 points away. That's going from 56% passing 2 years ago to 68% passing this year.
The one primary criteria is student achievement, and that's measured by the state assessments that we have. And that's what we use to determine if a program is effective or not. And we went from the 20s across the board in math all the way to the 60s in a half a semester. So I'm expecting bigger and better things next year with a full year of implementation.
Actually getting those test results back, you could see a big difference in, the schools that were fully using SideStreet and then the schools that were just using it as a supplemental, and even the campuses that were using it in the tutorial programs. Overall, my secondary schools, I saw a big increase.